There's Katy Perry. We are Magic 97.7. Let me move this on my computer screen. I have no idea why that is there. All right, 8:35 our time. Good Policies with Mike Barrett from Barrett Insurance Agency, Portland Street, St. Jay. Hi, Mike.
Good morning. How are you?
How are you? Happy not Monday anymore.
Indeed. Happy not Monday for sure. So, yeah, caramba. So your computer is giving you a fun time this morning? Is that what I heard?
Well, not just one, but both. That's all right. The least of our worries. Folks, Mike joins us here to talk about the insurance industry. You've been in it. You've dealt with it for years and years and years, and it is very complex. So what we do with Good Policies, we try to break it down into layman terms, or at least something a little bit more understandable. Mike, I have a question for you.
Go for it.
Okay? I am going to invest in super glue because I'm broke, okay? Like a lot of people listening out there, money is tight. So when it comes to insurance, business, homeowners, automobile, any insurance, everybody would love to be able to save money on it. Now, I can't pay mine in full, and I know that is the least expensive way to do it. Am I wrong in assuming this?
You are not wrong in assuming that. Many companies actually do incentivize certain types of payment plans, and paying in full with many, actually almost all companies now at this point can give you a pay in full discount.
So I remember that right, although it is something that I won't be able to do. But a lot of people out there live in the same world I do. Oh, my gosh, my insurance payment's due Tuesday, payday's Thursday. I can get it in late. Now, this happens a bit. I can relate to this. Late fees. Is that something that is a commonality now, especially in the COVID world that we're living in?
Yeah, so I actually haven't seen any increase, less necessarily in the late fees, which has been interesting. That's something statistically you would expect to see more of. But, companies do give you a grace period, and once that grace period for payment has expired, that's when a late fee usually gets introduced, and that could be anywhere from $15 or more. Which, with most companies, you could probably get it forgiven if it's a once-a-year accident type of thing where, oops, I forgot. But otherwise, you're going to be stuck with a late fee, which just snowballs you in further. Options to think about, and you were right, Jeff, in many regards that there are ways to save money on paying in full with most lines of business, but not all. So specifically, auto insurance. Auto insurance was the first one that we noticed that companies like Progressive started saying, hey, look, if somebody pays this in full, we're really going to give them a nice little discount because we're not chasing our money or invoicing or anything of that nature. And it's kind of gone through, and it's always a follow-the-leader scenario in the world of insurance. So other companies had taken note and go, gosh, Progressive's doing this. This is a great idea. We should do it too. Pay in full discount does vary greatly from company to company. I'll tell you that some companies you're only looking at $20 or $30 savings if you pay it in full, whereas with Progressive, you can see a pretty significant savings many times, which is pretty nice. And they've also added pay in full discounts to different policies, like special lines policies, which special lines is what we kind of use as a blanket phrase to describe ATV, motorcycle, snowmobile, campers, motorhomes, things like that. A lot of companies have introduced pay in full discounts on that as well. And you mentioned it, paying in full, while certainly desirable, is not always attainable. Here's the beauty of it, is the pay in full's been around for a long time. Now we're starting to see some other options come out, and again, Progressive kind of leading the way in some regard, but other companies like Safeco have really stepped up, and companies like Ohio Mutual have stepped up and really offered some cool things. So they've now incentivized paying automatic payment electronic funds transfer. And actually, one of our companies, Cooperative Insurance of Middlebury, Vermont, has had this for a very long time, where if you pay monthly EFT, there's no service fees. So they give you, that's not a discount that you're necessarily getting, but you're not getting hit with those $5 or $6 or $7 service fees for all your installments. So that's going to save you some money. Well, go ahead, Jeff.
If I could real quick here, we're talking about the $5 and $10 fees here and there. It used to be, too, that if an insurance company sent you a paper copy of a bill or of your policy, that cost a little extra, too. Is that something that can be avoided if somebody does it electronically?
Yeah, so electronic means of getting your documents certainly can be a positive thing. I will tell you it's not a huge discount, but many people take it just because they like the idea of not getting inundated with paper. Although I think at some point people will feel the same way about getting inundated with emails too, but if they're not already there. But yeah, there can be a benefit to getting electronic notification of your policies. But beyond the EFT option, one thing we've seen recently is companies now introducing automatic payment with a credit card. And, there are a lot of people out there who like to use their credit cards for points or for cashback bonuses or things like that. And now you can do an automatic payment with your credit card. With most companies, they're offering you the ability to do that with any of their payment options, whether it be once a year, twice a year, once every month, whatever the case may be. So it's good to look at that because they can have reduced fees or no fees associated with that. Plus, you're getting points on your card, which is pretty attractive to some people.
Folks, with us, Mike Barrett from Barrett Insurance Agency, family-owned pretty much since its inception. And, Mike, I think a lot of our listeners understand this, and some may not. All of the companies that you are listing off, like Cooperative and Progressive and the likes, they are all companies that Barrett Insurance deals with.
Correct. We deal with many companies. We are an independent agency, and we offer all different access of companies for property and casualty, for life insurance. We also have some disability product offerings as well. So we have, plenty that we work with, so we can really shop it around, do some price comparisons, make sure you're getting a competitive rate.
Well, Mike, thanks for joining us for Good Policies this week. It is still the new year, even though we're into the final week of January here, and a lot of folks may have forgotten that they made a New Year's resolution to save money on their insurance, all of their expenses. So if they want to get in touch with you and talk about it, how can they do it?
It's easy, 748-5224. You'll get one of us on the line here. Kind of a New Year's reminder, we are a staff of 4, family-owned and operated. You'll speak to either Kim, Anita, Jen, or myself. Anita's the only one not related, but we've tried to adopt her. The state says she's too old, so we're not allowed to do that. But you can also find us on Portland Street in St. Johnsbury, online at thebarrettagency.com. You can find us on Google, Facebook, and YouTube as well. Just look for Barrett Insurance Agency.
All right. Well, she's a sister from another mister. How's that?
There you go.
Okay. Mike, thanks for joining us for Good Policies. Thanks for the chuckle and all the information. We'll see you in a week, okay?
Absolutely. Stay well, sir.
You too. Bye-bye now. Again, Barrett Insurance Agency, Portland Street in St. Johnsbury. We've got music for